child marriages, which has resulted in young girls dying while giving birth. Zimbabwe's Deputy Director of Monitoring and Evaluation Unit in the Ministry of Health, Lloyd Machacha said that there is need to raise awareness of the illegality of child marriages to all religious leaders.
There was a disjoinder. If you look at the consent age, which was at 16 years, and the age where a person can be married, which is 18 years. Now the alignment of the Marriages Act and trying to make sure that no person is married or can consent before the age of 18 will go a long way in trying to reduce these issues of child marriages. What only needs to be done, I think, in this regard, now that the Act is in place, is for its awareness to be taken to all levels of our communities, especially the churches, so that they are aware that there is this new position. It's unlawful. Yes, they know, some of them, but the majority don't know. Look at the statistics of our population. Over 60% of them are rural.
In Zimbabwe, according to a UNICEF report, 1 woman out of 3 is married before the age of 18, and lack of access to education by young girls has been attributed as a key driver. Now, joining us to further dissect the plague and impact of early child marriages is Carol Maposhera, a sexual reproductive health rights specialist. Now, good evening, Caroline. Memory Machaya's death exposed the source of child marriages in Zimbabwe. Are parliamentarians who are reportedly livid over the matter on time to stop this problem?
Hi, Itai. It's frightening that, in a country with so many literate people, our literacy levels, it's really something to write home about in the whole of Africa, for that these barbaric acts are still happening. I call them barbaric because this is happening in front of everybody, in front of, schools, in front of religious leaders, in front of traditional leaders, in front of political leaders, and we are letting this happen. Anyway, it's very emotional, and allow us to be emotional because lives are involved and young women are dying. Their bodies have not even fully grown, and there they are, supposed to give life, give birth, and they die, in the process. And so it becomes an emotional issue. Yet, what should be happening is, I'm very happy that the law is harmonized now, that the legal age of majority and the age for marriage, the age to consent for sex, it's all now in harmony. There is now need for awareness to be raised throughout all sectors, schools, churches, all platforms on social media, radio. It should just be a song by everyone, so that awareness is raised. This whole thing that the parents didn't know where the child was, somebody doesn't know this was the age, it's all nonsense. It's hiding behind a finger. It's because now there is a death. Lots of people know young people who are, young girls who are being wives, and parents consenting to them being married off. Now when there is a negative outcome like this, a tragedy like this, people now scamper off and run away, and people have stories to tell. It's not fair, and it's not correct that these things are happening like this. Everyone should be aware, and everyone should be held accountable. Teachers, and when you see a child not coming to school, follow it up. Parents, guardians, everyone within the community. In Africa we have the saying that a child is raised by everyone. That should still be the case. When you see a neighbor child no longer going to school, or is now coming out of Mr. So-and-so's heart as, questionably wife. What wife? That's abuse. That should raise questions, and everyone should do something.
It's certainly an emotional issue, and now talking about conscientizing everyone, certain religious sects are seen as perpetrators of early child marriages. How best can they be educated for them to appreciate the gravity of this problem?
They can be educated on the radio like this. If it's a news item like what it is now, they are educated on the radio. They are educated, officials should actually go to those shrines and they should be given space, the officials, to educate the people that the law says this. And besides the law, sanity, morality tells you that this child hasn't grown. Just raising that, consciousness to say the child is still growing and there are dangers to impregnating a body that is not fully grown, so that body starts carrying another human being. That's what's killing these girls, because their bodies are not yet ready for that. So they need to be educated, the religious leaders. They, even in their spaces where they have their forums as church leaders, they should actually have their own punishments at that level, where the voice is also coming from the church leadership.
Yeah,
and
like you mentioned, that we all know that charity begins at home. What role does the family play in this whole issue? Maybe if you go a little bit in depth on that one.
Family appreciating life, family appreciating the girl child and valuing her body. If they see her as a commodity, that is when they sell her off. Because I call it selling her off. When you are marrying off a young girl who is still growing, who is, in most cases, the mind is not yet even ready. That body may look like, okay, yes, there are breasts there, but that doesn't mean that this is a fully grown person. That's why even the law is protecting the child. So at family level, the girl child should be respected within the home. The girl child should be valued, so should be her body. And parents, siblings, they should value that child, give her space, talk to her, allow her to grow, nurture her, and actually provide an environment where she can grow and where she can be educated.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Time is not on our side, but thank you very much, Carol Maposhera. That was Carol Maposhera, a sexual reproductive health